Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic Known Classics. This is episode number 2451, episode number 2345. Now, first we're discussing issues of Silver Surfer Volume 3. I'm not reviewing this series because I wanted to basically get that Thor Epic collection that had collected issues 86, 88 out of the way. With this one, I'm discussing issues 89 to 100 and annual number 7, which was also the last thing I published for about 3 years. Now, I've already discussed annual 97 already, so that was actually the last thing I published. So, with this, I'm finished the annuals. Now, mostly put, we have two two-parters, a four-parter, a three-parter, and a standalone issue for these ones. 89-90 features the return of the character known as Legacy, aka the son of the original Captain Marvel. He comes back here, first time since A number 6. Great, fantastic two-parter. And then right after that, we do a two-parter. We deal with the continuation of the Zenla plot. Yeah, first thing anything with is like the first couple years of the book. And then from issues 93 to 96 is known as Down to Earth, where it features the return of Frankie Ray, aka Nova. We think it's her, and then next arc basically shoots out of the way. And by the way, he meets up with Fantastic Four in this four-parter. All-Star X-Tamer as well. Now, this is a period of time when Mr. Fantastic is not here. So, no Mr. Fantastic in this book. So, it's mostly just Sue, The Thing, Human Torch, and Scott Lang Ant-Man. Yep. And then by basically 97, he's basically back to space with Frankie Ray. Go get some treasure. And he starts making out with her until he realizes, though, this is not Nova. This is an imposter. Turns out this actually is Mephisto in disguise. Yep. Mephisto. Probably the first time he's actually on Mephisto in quite a while in the book. Yes. And if you're really curious, how long had it been since, of course, he took on Mephisto? Quite a long time, actually. Oh yeah, we also have guest appearance with the Hulk in issue 95. I think for Mephisto, this is probably the first time in a long time. That he's actually appeared in the book. Because anybody reading this like, really? Frankie Ray was Mephisto all along? Well, in these issues anyways. Yes. Okay, if you're really curious, so he appeared like all over the place. Now, prior to him returning in issue 98, the last time he appeared in this book was way back in issue 49. That was his last appearance to date. Yep. Oh, by the way, issues 97 to 98, 99 is referred to as the Last Temptation story arc. And by the way, it's revealed in issue 99, it's Mephisto in disguise. Yep. And then the 100 issue for the series, we do with still Mephisto. It is the start of a minor story arc. Basically, it's a big, humongous issue. Also, let me put out something here for issue 93. Now, by 93, this is actually the last time we'll see the cover the way it looks with the Silver Surfer logo in the corner. Yeah. And it's like right after the completion of the story arc, Down to Earth. Start issue 97, we get a new cover change. Yes. Well, the cover still has the Silver Surfer as normal, but the number for the book is moved to the right side of the book, and it looks like this. And it's like this for the majority of the book. Also, let me show you the awesome cover that is issue 100. It's a great looking cover. Here it is. Silver Surfer 100. And a really good cover. Yep. And I'm going to give these... this issue also deals with the debut of a brand new character who claims to be Nova's brother. But, yeah, a guy claims to be anyways. So, now move on to the, well, second to last regular annual published for this book. Yep. Yeah, there was actually, like, technically, like, a couple more annuals published after this one. This was the last one for a few years. Mostly, but it's basically, well, Silver Star team with Legacy, Firelord, and Airwalker take on Galactus and Morg the Executioner, who last appeared back in Cosmic Powers number 5. Yep. Legacy, of course, he last appeared. Also, he pretty much appeared in Cosmic Powers number 6. Yep. Oh, one thing before I move on to something else. The writing here is done by Ron Martz. He does pretty much all the writing here. We have Colin Doran, who does issue 89. Bill Momar does 90, excuse me. Rob Lenz comes back to the book for issue 91. He's basically back here for quite a while. And if you're really curious, Ron Lim is back on Silver Surfer at this point in time. Basically, 92 was his last issue he did, and the annual is technically the last thing he ever did for the book. And goodbye, Rob Lim, because now we have Brad Sears and Todd Grinberg on the artwork. Yeah. Grinberg himself basically would be one of the last artists of this book. If you're curious, how long did Grinberg do the artwork for this book for? Well, it came on with issue number 94. I think he just did just that one. He came back for issue 100. He just did 2 books of these issues. Yep. 95 was basically Scott Eden. 96 is Jim Hall. 97 is, of course, Jim Hall with Joe Phillips is doing this amazing cover artwork here. Yep. Of course, Jim Hall also does the 100 issue. We also got appearance in the last issues by Thanos and the Champion. Yep. But these issues were pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I'm going to give these issues a 9 out of 10. So, before I continue here, in case you're curious now, there is also one Epic Collection release for Silver Surfer. The collection is very fun to discuss. How many more issues do I have to go through before I get to that? 22. Yep, just 22. And that's it. Now moving on to Marvel Masterworks, The Submariner, Volume 1. Written by Stan Lee, who does pretty much all the issues in here. 82 co-does with Roy Thomas. Excuse me, this of course is Tales to Astonish, by the way. The book collects Tales to Astonish 87, Daredevil number 7, along with Tales to Suspense number 80. Of course, basically, Wally Wood does the art for issue 7 for Daredevil. 82, 83 is Jack Kirby. 86 is Jerry Green, and Bill Everett, the co-creator of the character, does issue 87. Now, this, of course, is mostly in the 60s. The Daredevil issue came out in 1965, April 1965, and we with Tales of Astonish with issue 70 of August of 1965 and conclude in January of 1967. Yeah, I discussed Daredevil 7 already, so I'm just moving on from that. And then basically with issue 70 of Tales of Astonish, the Submariner takes over basically as the co-feature of the book after Hank Pym was kicked out the book. Yep. And of course, Namor himself will be here from issue 70 up until the final issue of the book, which is issue 101. And this is basically most of the run. Most of the book is basically the adventures of Namor in this book. I do find it interesting though that they basically put in this book like not long after his appearance over in. Of course, also he takes on his old foe Warlord Krang. Now, Krang himself last appeared back in Daredevil number 7. And before that was Fantastic Four and number 1, which is the first appearance of the Atlanteans. Krang himself, if you're really curious, he's kind of in the way the first regular villain for Namor at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's here for Tales of Astonishment issue 70 to, well, from 70 to about 76. He's absent a couple issues. Comes back for 79 to 87. Comes back for 81. Comes back sporadically afterwards. Because most of he's like the only bad guy here. Also the first appearance of the Sewed Man. The Sewed Man, just this weird sewer creature, this weird seaweed creature, who appeared just a few times. He appears just basically in this issue and the following issue. And then, for some reason, he got dumped over in ROM. Yeah, I don't know why. Also, Dorma is his love interest of these issues. Yeah. And twice in these issues, get this, Namor captures Krang and he banishes him twice from society. Though he comes back, like, first time comes like almost immediately afterwards. Second time, basically, he's gone for quite a while from the book. Yep, and also in 73, he takes on the Faceless Ones. Yeah, which, this is also part of a subplot in these issues of him basically earning his right to become the new king, the new leader of Atlantis. Which, of course, Dorma nearly sacrificed herself, of course, to give his quest. And apparently, his actions would be worthy of the throne. Yep. And Vanishi the Elder, who this issue 70 was actually his debut appearance, he was simply a citizen, and then basically, after helping out with giving his title, he was appointed as Grand Vizier. He, of course, has been a very known. Now, he appeared a lot throughout these issues. He was absent for a small period of time after 81. We came back for 87 and 91. And he basically was there throughout the entirety of the original Submariner book. Into issue 68, but he came back sporadically. His most recent appearance actually was in Atlantis Attacks. So I like the fact I get a chance to see some good development here. Yeah. Now there is one issue where somehow the Hulk is also in the same issue as Submariner, aside from issue 100. Yes. Yeah, there's also a brief period of time where... Yeah, then we also have Behemoth. Yeah, fights this creature here for a few issues. Yeah, here for a few issues. He comes back for a couple issues of Defenders, and that's it for him. He also had a brief guest appearance by Hank Pym and Janet Von Dyne. Yep. And then, of course, he has to deal with Puppet Master issue number 78. Yes, seriously. And 79 still is Puppet Master with Warlord and Behemoth. Issue 80, believe it or not, I believe it was issue 80, I think it was. It was, because remember there was actually, I think it was issue 80, I think it was, of Tales of Astonish, where it crossed over with Iron Man. Okay, that comes after issue 81. He crosses over with that book. Yeah, it basically is continued to supposedly Tales where he just shows up, beats the crap out of Iron Man, and then basically is continued over in his own book. And after the team up, he basically returns back to the main book, where he, of course, deals with Iron Man, and of course, also this brief period of time, Dorma briefly defects from him, supposedly to betray him, but turns out she did not betray him. It turns out, basically, Crane manipulated her to marry him in exchange for not murdering Namor. And he forgives her for this. We also first friends with a character named Number One of the Secret Empire. Yep, and he's here for about 3 issues. Yep. And of course, Namor has to deal with the Secret Empire of these few issues. And of course, Number One is killed off by issue 85. And by the last issue of this book, he pretty much kind of in a way wraps up his storyline with Krang by issue 86. But he comes back. Oh, don't worry, he comes back. Not much surprising. I think it wraps up his story at that point for now. But he comes back in this book for 2 more issues. He comes back in Taylor Stone just a couple more times, and then he returns to some Mariner preview issues. And then for some reason he can move over to Captain America. He appears sporadically in some Mariner books for quite a while. But these issues are really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes. Now, I kind of wish Namor would get a little more respect, like, get a more ongoing series, because here's the strange thing about the guy. He hasn't had that many ongoing series. Overall, he's only had 3. You have The Samaritan comes after this one. You have his one from the 90s, and Namor the First Mutant. And that's it. And he has like 2 or 3, he has a handful of limited series. There's another volume for this The Samaritan book comes right afterwards in the 2000s, but that basically was a loose time in the initiative, but I'll get to that, don't worry about that. But basically, every time I finish these books, I will talk about... Now, when I finish up Submariner, which comes right after this, I will be discussing the 2 miniseries coming afterwards, and then I'll be discussing the Namor book from the 90s. And after I discuss that one, which is actually shorter than the next book here, I will be discussing the Namor miniseries from 03, which is 12 issues, and the second volume for Submariner, obviously, Namor the First Mutant, Conquered Seas. There's plenty of Namor to go for here, but basically I'm going to go through Namor as best I can. Yep. But yeah, this is pretty much a particular view. Plus, I really love Gene Colan's artwork, and that was really awesome. Yep. And I'm going to see his artwork when I discuss issue 22 of the book of Submariner, which will have probably in the future. Okay, so that's a particular view. Next up we have is, well, no videos now, actually. So, stay tuned for tomorrow. Probably a Comic Corner 2, but that's probably going to be it. Okay, next view.